Hello. I hope you are doing well as you come in and join us. I think it is fantastic that we have the ability to do this. I'm still kind of figuring out how we do this exactly. Because I don't know. But still, we're trying it and we're going to see how it goes. And at the moment, none of the stuff that I wanted to share with you is working properly for our Devo. So I'm trying to figure that out here in the background. But as I do that, hello. I'm trying to get all of this. So I tested all this with my wife the other day, and it all worked great. And now it's not. So who knows? Who knows? Can you hear me? Well, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I think I do. I think I figured it out. Give me just a second. Trying to fix this here. And then the idea is we will record this as well and be able to share it with others. So again, I don't know how all this works. I'm just getting into trying to figure this out. But can you hear me, Brittany? Can you hear anything? No. Well,
There we
go. I hear you.
All right. It told me that it's being recorded, the meeting.
Yeah, because what I was going to do is do a little devotion, which I'm trying to figure out how to get up. There it is. Everything's working now. So let's see. Let's see here. So if I do this, this is my little welcome for everybody. And again, we're trying to figure all this out as we go. This is our first one. So if you're watching this by the recording later, just bear with us. But did you see that?
Yeah, I see the hippos.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
If there was any audio to it, I couldn't hear it.
There wasn't any audio to it. Let's see here. Let's try. Let's try it again. You're my test subject here, Brittany.
Yep.
No, not that. Could you hear anything that time?
No. So what I found is if like I was on a phone call and I was trying to do a Zoom meeting at the same time, the Zoom audio wouldn't work. Because I was on speakerphone on a regular phone call.
Okay. Well, let's try that. Let's change it over here and see. See, again, all this worked when I tested it. That's why I was like, okay, we're going to try this out.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to get sick of
Here at the
Fiona.
Cincinnati Zoo with BB and Fiona. We wanted to welcome you. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for following along and being Fiona fans. We really appreciate your support and hope you enjoy this little message from Fiona.
Did you hear it that time?
Yes.
Woohoo! All right. So
Take her
for
down.
everybody else that's going to be watching this, you're going to be really confused. But the goal and the idea is just for us to be able to gather virtually for a few moments. And of course, right now it's just Brittany and I here, but wanted to just spend a little part of the beginning of the day with a kind of a devotional for us and a little bit of time together, just being, being refreshed, being encouraged. First of all, Brittany, how are things going with you guys over there?
They're going well. We finally got the tile back up in the bathroom, so we're gonna regrout and recaulk and hopefully be able to start taking showers again. So I'm glad I'm not out there with other people at this time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, I would definitely want to continue everybody to stay safe and just, I've been doing a lot of reorganization in my garage and closets and all sorts of things. So, all right. So, just a real quick, just a few minute devotion that I wanted to share. As you know, we got a lot more time on our hands, some of us. So, if you have more time to obviously get into the Word, study the Bible, that's always a good thing. So this is a little devotion from an organization called Right Now Media. And I just wanted to share this. So hopefully you see a screen with some mountains drawn in the background. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Let's see if this works.
For thousands of years, every morning and evening, Jewish people have prayed these well-known words as a way of expressing their devotion to God. They're called the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. And as for you, you shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your strength. Now, the first word of the Shema is hear or listen, which in Hebrew is pronounced Shema. That's where the prayer gets its name. Now, Shema is a really common word in the Hebrew Bible, and it's obvious why. Hearing is a very universal activity. It's usually connected with the ear, as in Proverbs chapter 20, ears that Shema and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. Now, that seems basic enough, but if you look at the other ways that Hebrew authors can use the word Shema, they use it to mean more than just let sound waves enter your ear. In Hebrew, Shema can also mean pay attention to or focus on. So when Leah, who wasn't loved by her husband Jacob, she has a son, and she names him Simon, or in Hebrew, Shim'on, because she says, the Lord has sham'ad, that I am unloved. So Shema means to hear and to pay attention to, and even more. It can also mean responding to what you hear. This is why so many of the cries for help in the book of Psalms begin with a call that God listen. Psalm 27, verse 7. Shema my voice when I call, O Lord. Be merciful, answer me. So asking God to Shema is at the same time asking God to act, to do something. It's similar to when God asks people to listen. Like when the people of Israel come to Mount Sinai, God says, if you Shema me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all the nations you will be my treasured possession. Now, there's a couple interesting things about this verse in Exodus. In Hebrew, the word Shema is repeated twice in this sentence to give it emphasis. If you Shema, Shema, meaning listen closely. But also notice that from God's point of view, listening is basically the same as keeping the covenant. So when God asks the people to Shema, what he means is that they listen and obey. And that's the last fascinating thing about Shema. In ancient Hebrew, there is no separate word for obey, meaning to carry out the wishes of someone who knows better than you or is in authority over you. So in the Bible, if you want to say, I will listen and do what you say, you use the single word, Shema. In Hebrew, listening and doing are two sides of the same coin. This is why later in Israel's history, when the people were breaking their covenant promises to God, the Hebrew prophets would say things like, they have ears, but they're not listening. The Israelites, of course, could hear just fine, but they weren't actually listening, or else they would act differently. And so, in the end, listening in the Bible is about giving respect to the one speaking to you and doing what they say. Real listening takes effort and action, and that's the Hebrew word Shema.
Real listening takes effort and action. What do you think about that?
That is basically what we do with active listening in social work, and just focusing on what the person's saying, not only the words, but like their body language.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we say things we don't mean because we don't have the words.
Mhm.
So I found the video very, very interesting with listening and doing being two sides to a coin.
Mhm. Yeah. How often have we gotten into the place where, okay, we're listening, but like we term it sometimes hearing versus listening. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you listen to motivational speakers or whatever talk about it, and we hear a lot of stuff, and I think that's important now with what's going on, that we hear information, but what are we actually listening to? What are we obeying? And it's important to obviously obey like the guidelines and those sorts of things. But in terms of our spiritual growth and development, how often do we hear the word, whether it's through a message or a devotional or on the radio or whatever it is, but we're not doing anything. We're just kind of taking it in, and it's just passing through, right?
Yeah.
And what God really wants for us to be focused on is not just taking it in, but what are we doing with it? What's going back out through our words, through our actions, through our attitudes, all the way around. So that's pretty much it. Do you have any final thoughts, since you're the one who's here with me?
No, not at this time.
All right. Well, again, this will get a little bit easier, and hopefully other people will be able to join on. I'm going to schedule them out so that folks will have a little bit more advance notice than this morning. But really, I just, again, kind of wanted to do more of a live test, see how this goes. And hopefully folks will be able to join us so we can see each other's faces, but also be encouraged as they come in later. But it's
Yes.
good to see you. Have a great day. And again, if you need anything, reach out.
Will do. Bye.